Hi, Garrett Park Nursery School. It's Miss Sarah. I have a fun story to read to you today. Um, that this is a story that we read in the squirrels class and had a lot of fun. So, squirrels, if you want to hear it again, this is your chance to hear it again. Explorers and teddy bears, you can enjoy it for the first time. And stay towards the end, and we'll show you a fun art project we did. This book is called Perfect Square, and it's by Michael Hall. And this square has a mouth going this way, which makes me think it feels happy. Let's see what happens to this perfect square in the Perfect Square book. I know it's a perfect square because it has 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. That are all the same size. All right. Let's see what happens to this square. It was a perfect square. It had 4 matching corners and 4 equal sides. Well, that's what we were just talking about. And it was perfectly happy. But on Monday, the square was cut into pieces and poked full of holes. It wasn't perfectly square anymore. So it made itself into a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped. Oops. On Tuesday, the square was torn into scraps. Not a square anymore, huh? So it made itself into a garden. On Wednesday, the square was shredded into strips. So it made itself into a park. Look, all those different shades of green. If you could see that. On Thursday, the square was shattered. So it made itself into a bridge. On Friday, the square was snipped into ribbons. So it made itself into a river. On Saturday, the square was crumpled and ripped and wrinkled. So it made itself into a mountain. On Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and it waited. Nothing happened. Still waiting. I think it had fun being all those different things. Uh-oh. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped. Look at this now. So it made itself into a window. That looked out on a mountain that gave birth to a river that was crossed by a bridge that led to a park that was home to a garden that had at its center a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped. That's the end of the square book. Perfect Square. So what we did in the squirrels class was had our own perfect square papers like this. This one has a little paint on it. And we talked about sometimes if you're reading a book, you don't want to rip the pages of the book because that would wreck the book. But when you're doing artwork and you want to make different shapes, you can rip the paper, just like this. Yep. And by ripping the paper, it makes a really cool sound. It makes all different shapes. And you could glue things and make different pictures out of it. So what I did was I ripped my own paper, yellow paper, and I glued it on here. I made a sunshine with my ripped paper, with my yellow. Then I ripped some red paper, and I decided these look like beautiful flowers. So I'm going to take my red beautiful flowers and glue them right here. And I ripped some pink paper and glued them for stems. And I ripped some blue paper for my own little babbling river. And I ripped a green hill. And I even ripped a little bunny. That was tricky. I had to try that a few times and rip it over and over again and try to get it really small. That was a hard one. I had to try that a bunch of times. But I glued it into this picture that maybe the perfect square would like to look out to from its window. So maybe if you're home, all you need is paper and glue and your fingers to rip and see what kind of shapes you can rip your square into. What do you think? Maybe if you get a good picture done, you can send it to us. You can email or text it to me or Miss Martina or Miss Jen or Miss Laura or Miss Emily or Miss Meadow. We'd love to see it. Okay, happy ripping. Bye, everybody. Miss you.